Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues and delegates. I am architect Azim A. Aziz, a practicing architect in Malaysia for over 30 years with outside architects. My presentation today introduces the B40 Housing Revolution, a model for Malaysia's bottom 40% households earning below Ringgit Malaysia 4,850 or equivalent to US dollars 1,150 per month. By linking affordability with transit-oriented development and the 15-minute city framework, this proposal offers a pathway to more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable urban centers across Malaysia. I'd like to begin my presentation now. B40 Housing Revolution, an overview. Malaysia's bottom 40% households earn below Ringgit Malaysia 4,850, about US dollars 1,150 per month. For them, home ownership is nearly impossible. My proposal introduces a 60-year leasehold model with repayments as low as 300 ringgit, about 70 US dollars per month, with no upfront costs. It rests on three pillars: affordable family housing, transit-oriented development, and a 15-minute city concept. This approach ensures every family can live near schools, clinics, jobs, and parks, while financing relies on value capture rather than heavy subsidies. Introduction: the housing crisis. Our B40 families are trapped in overcrowded rentals or pushed to the outskirts with poor access to transport. Many work in informal or low-wage jobs, earning between 1,500 ringgit to 3,000 ringgit, around 355 US dollars to 710 US dollars per month. Rising costs and irregular incomes keep them locked out for formal loans. Greater Kuala Lumpur alone faces a shortfall of more than 250,000 affordable units. Nationally, that deficit exceeds 500,000 units. Without secure, well-located homes, inequality deepens and poverty cycle repeats. Housing must be more than a shelter. It must be the foundation of dignity, stability, and opportunity. Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, the peninsular context. Here we see Malaysia, with Kuala Lumpur at its core. Peninsular Malaysia holds 30 million people, and Greater KL already houses close to 9 million people. The capital city itself, though only 243 square kilometers, is home to over 2 million people. The spatial mismatch between land area and population density show why urban housing is such a pressing challenge and why well-planned inclusive solutions are essential. Greater Kuala Lumpur in focus. This map highlights the scale of Greater Kuala Lumpur. With 9 million residents across just under 3,000 square kilometers, density pressures are real. The city's future depends on compact development near transit rather than uncontrolled sprawl. My proposal targets these very transit corridors, ensuring families can live within walking distances of schools, clinics, shops, and workplaces. Methodology: population and housing demand. Our policy model begins with demographic projections. Malaysia's population will peak between 2040 and 2050 before gradually declining. Greater KL, however, will continue to attract migrants, young families, and workers. B40 household growth is projected using labor force, data, and sector employment trends. With aging and migration both accelerating, this means more pressure on affordable housing supply in the coming decades. Urban analysis, affordability, and transit. GIS analysis shows significant brownfield with public land within 400 meters of MRT and LRT stations, perfect for transit-oriented housing. Using a density of 200 units per acre, these sites can deliver thousands of well-located homes. Affordability benchmark are set at Ringgit Malaysia 300 or roughly $70 monthly repayments, tested against real household profiles. This ensures even families earning under Ringgit Malaysia 2,500, around $600 can access secure housing without overstretching their budgets. Life cycle planning. Housing must evolve with people's lives, from birth through schooling, career, family life, and into retirement. The 60-year leasehold supports each stage. Children grow up in safe neighborhoods, parents can manage finances, and elderly can age in place with dignity. By recycling units every 60 years, this model ensures affordability for future generations while embedding sustainability measures like green roofs and passive cooling. Demographic and fertility trends. Malaysia's fertility rates are declining, and by 2100, 1 in 4 citizens may be over 60 years old. Population could contract to under 40 million people. Urbanization, however, will remain strong, with over 70% Malaysians living in cities. These shifts make long-term housing policies urgent, not just to provide homes now, but to design systems that remain viable as demographics change. Results, affordability and inclusion. With this model, repayments of Ringgit Malaysia 300 or $70 a month fall within Bank Negara's or the Federal Reserve Bank's 30% affordability threshold. Removing upfront costs opens the door to renters and informal workers who banks usually exclude. Locating homes within 400 meters of transit reverses the historic trend of pushing low-income families to the outskirts. And because leases recycle, units can be upgraded or reallocated as families grow or as elders need care. Transit-oriented development, 15-minute city prototype. This is a vision of 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, 247 acres, 15-minute city. Each block integrates housing, schools, clinics, shops, and jobs, all connected by MRT and LRT extensions. Within this urban fabric, 1,400 B40 units can support up to 5,000 residents, making a self-contained, sustainable, and walkable community. International relevance and urban resilience. Our model adapts the best of Vienna's affordability, Singapore's governance, and Tokyo's density strategies, but within Malaysia's own legal and cultural context. Concentrating housing near transit reduces infrastructure burdens, improves service delivery, and creates resilient urban cores. At 10,000 units per year, we can deliver over 300,000 homes in Greater KL by 2055. Each home is around 850 to 900 square feet, ensuring dignity while remaining affordable. National Housing Outlook 2025 to 2050. Looking nationally, Malaysia population will grow from 34 million in 2025 to nearly 42 million by 2050. The B40 group alone will rise to 16.7 million people. Urbanization will reach 88%. This means demand for 1.4 to 2.1 new B40 units over the next 25 years, and mostly urban units. At 80 units per acre, that requires 20,000 to 26,000 acres. A 60-year-old lease model with units priced at 100,000 ringgit to 150,000 ringgit, or about $23,000 to 35,000 US dollars, ensures sustainable perpetual affordability. Affordability benchmark and policy fit. Here we see repayment levels for leasehold units. 100,000 ringgit Malaysia per unit, about 23,000 US dollars, costs just 215 ringgit Malaysia per month, or 50 US dollars. 150,000 ringgit Malaysia per unit, about 35,000 US dollars, remains manageable at 322 ringgit Malaysia per month, or 75 US dollars. Even at 200,000 ringgit Malaysia per unit, around 47,000 US dollars, repayments are about 429 ringgit Malaysia, or 100 US dollars, still remain reach of many B40 families. This aligns with Selangore's Rumah Selangorku quotas, TOD requirements, and national policies. With IBS construction and Green Building Index standards, we can deliver sustainable housing while avoiding vertical slum risks. The 60-old leasehold micro-mortgage fits Malaysia legal framework, supports Selangore's housing mandates, and ensures affordability across generations. By tying homes to transit and embedding life cycle governance, it offers stability, inclusion, and sustainability. In short, this model can transform housing from a recurring problem into a long-term solution, not just for Kuala Lumpur, but for urban centers nationwide. Ladies and gentlemen, the B40 housing revolution is not just about numbers or policies. It's about dignity, stability, and opportunity for millions of Malaysian families. By combining affordability, transit access, and long-term governance, we can reshape our cities into inclusive, sustainable places for generations to come. Thank you for listening.